when I came to Europe, the thing that shocked me was that Europeans say Americans are dumb. And I was like, that was shocking me. I said, no, they're not dumb.
Girl, I love that you said that. Thank you. I literally showed up to our master's program and I got that vibe that everyone's like, oh, Americans, like, oh, dumb Americans, dumb Americans. The Europeans kind of have like an elitist view. Like, we speak 4 languages. We're better than you guys, which like, I mean, maybe, but like, they don't have to be arrogant about it, right?
Yeah, I agree. Like, that was shocking me. Like,
yeah. Howdy und servus, y'all, and welcome back to another episode of The Pod Abroad. My name is Paulina de los Santos, and for some context, I'm an American who has lived in Germany nearly 10 years. It's been a long time. And on this podcast, I share insights about my life as an American in Germany and have conversations with my immigrant friends based in Munich. But today, I'm having a very special conversation with one of my sweet friends, Dasom. Yes, and we are currently in Rome visiting a friend, but Dasom is from South Korea, living in Spain. We met in Munich, so a big cultural mix of a lot of different countries and cultures. And today we're going to speak about her perspective kind of on the US and her experience growing up in South Korea, and a bit about her personal story of living in 5 different countries, I believe. So we're going to get into it. Thanks so much for being here, Dasoma.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Yeah.
Actually, like, I'm quite nervous right now, but as Paulina has been telling me, fake it
till you make it.
I make it. So
I love it. No, we're gonna get cozy.
Yeah.
We're gonna get real and comfortable. I wanted to kind of speak on you and give people a little bit more context. Like, Dasom and I have been really good friends the last 8 years of our life. Crazy, right?
Yeah, time flies.
It really does.
Yeah.
We studied sustainability at the Technical University of Munich. Mm-hmm. We were both international students there. And the first year we kind of knew of each other, but we weren't friends. And we really kicked it off when we both interned. No, we were volunteers at a United Nations conference on climate change called COP23. COP23. Oh my gosh, they're like in the 30s now.
I think so.
And it's a convention on climate change, the conference. And we met there in Bonn, and we've been inseparable since.
I know. You're my best friend.
Dasoma, you're my best friend too. Seriously, also, I have someone near and dear to my heart here with today, and I think it's such an honor to get to speak with you, to kind of share your insights with my audience and with the world. Because for some context, like as an immigrant in a country like Germany, I feel very privileged to have a lot of multicultural friends and like people from all over. And it's just like a never-ending learning journey. I get to learn about your culture and about Spain all the time.
Yeah, I mean, many people ask me, oh, it must be really difficult to adapt yourself to the culture of the country you live.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. It's really hard. But like once you're really open your heart to that culture, it's easier to start and embrace later.
Absolutely. Yeah. It takes some adjusting, of course, but I think the ability to be open to learning is kind of a lifelong thing. Yeah. Right.
Also, like, for example, like when I started studying in Germany, Munich, I told myself, oh, it's opportunity for me to learn another language more.
Yeah.
Because before I went to Germany, I already learned how to speak French and Spanish.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my husband is half French, half Spanish.
French, Spanish, English, Korean, and you're like, let's learn German.
Yeah, German is another thing. Like, it's gonna be my good asset for my future. So like the way I open my heart. Also, like personally, I always think that if I live in the country, I should really learn the language of the country. I think it's a respect for the culture.
Absolutely.
Where I am, you know? So,
absolutely. I think it's a beautiful way of thinking and very respectful.
Yeah, but also it's good for us.
Yeah, yes. It's mutual. They win, we win.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Also, from my experience, like when I speak their language, although I'm not native, I'm not 100% perfect, I have seen those people, native people, local people appreciate more when I speak their languages. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, and also they open their heart to me when I show that I respect your culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dasoma, can you please give everyone a quick introduction of who you are and a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. So, hi, I'm Dasom. Like Dasom is Korean pure word meaning love everybody. I
Love
always
it.
say this. And currently I live in Spain, but I have been living in, as she said, I have been living in 5 different countries, and I know how to speak 5 languages, including Korean, but I'm not like native level, but I know how to speak their languages. And I currently content creator as well.
Yes.
And I love food, and I share more Korean food, and also I share the stories of culture and just my experience as an expat through the food.
Absolutely. I love it. And what's your handle on Instagram and YouTube?
Yes, I have 2 channels. One is for Spanish audience called La Dasom Cocina, and the other one for English or more international audience like you guys called Made by Dasom. Voila.
I love it. I love it. So if you guys are interested in learning how to cook authentic Korean food, then definitely go give her a follow. She has incredible content, and I learn Korean food from her all the time.
Thank you.
I even went to Korea a few years ago and got to experience Dasom's culture with her alongside me, and that was incredibly special. So I'll leave the links down below for her channels as well. Thank you so much, Dasoma, for that. And actually, so her name's Dasom, but I call her Dasoma.
Yeah.
Because she taught me that when you add an A at the end, it kind of makes it like sweet, like kind, right?
Or
Loving.
No, mainly more like in Korean, when you call someone, you don't call like just only name. There is kind of flowing, not sentence, flowing way to call someone is Dasoma. Paulina is hard to say it, but for example, my husband's name is Jeff. When Korean people call him in Korea, say, "Oh, Jeff야."
Jeffya.
Or Lily is my daughter's name is Lily, and so, "Oh, Lilia, come here." Yeah, like kind of the way to call someone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really sweet.
Yeah, I think.
But yeah, it kind of adds like a little bit of affection.
True, it's when you call me Dasoma, it's true that it sounds very sweet.
Oh.
But when my mom called me Dasoma, it feels like, what happened?
Yes.
What's up?
It's a little different.
Yeah, a little different.
I wanted to get into the first part of this podcast episode and speak about your impressions of the United States, because now you've been friends with an American the last 8 years, right? And I think we've spoken a lot openly about our different countries, where we come from, like what that was like. I thought it was so special. That's why I'm like, when you first met me, you really asked me a lot of questions about where I'm from. And I got to share about life in Texas. And I think by now, after all these years, you've heard a lot of what I've said, like what life is like there. But you've never personally lived in the US.
Not even visited.
You've never visited the US, right? But of course, you have an impression of the country based upon
my
history, right? History of South Korea, pop culture, media. And I find that very interesting. Of course, nearly everyone has kind of some kind of impression of the US, whether or not they've been there yet. So I wanted to start off with that concept and ask you, what were your impressions growing up on the US? Like, what were your earliest impressions on my country?
So first of all, South Korea had gone through a war. I don't know if you guys know Korean War.
Educate everyone in the audience.
Yeah, okay. So like after we were colonized by Japan, and then we're liberated at 1945 August, we had kind of a lot of conflicts because there are two ideology of the people who want to rebuild this country after the colonization of Japan. And then our South Korea was built 3 years later. And then the Korean War came. But then in Korea, our perspectives for Americans are you guys are really great people, and we're really grateful for you guys who gave us freedom.
Wow.
The freedom is amazing thing for especially South Koreans due to the history. Like, as you guys can see, that there's a huge difference between North Korea and South Korea. And if I say the main difference between these countries are not just economic growth, mainly is a freedom. We have a freedom to speak loud. We have a freedom to do whatever we want. We even have a freedom to own the house by our names, not by country. So the Korean War, when that happened, of course, there are many United Nations armies came, but the main people who help us are Americans. And still we have Americans residing in South Korea. And we say, like, thanks to those American soldiers residing in South Korea, those North Korea still cannot invade us. And for over 1,000 years, we have gone through a lot of wars from China, Russia, Japan. But thanks to Americans residing in South Korea now, since Korean War, we haven't had any wars. And we have been able to focus on economic growth. I'm sure that there are probably some South Koreans who don't appreciate Americans saying that Americans are evils. And because of them, we couldn't unite.
Koreans saying that Americans are evil.
Yes. There are some Koreans. Probably those people might say, "Oh, you're traitors" or something. But that's the fact that North Korea invaded, and thanks to a lot of citizens from all over the world, especially mainly more American soldiers, we got the freedom. That's the fact. So we cannot deny that. So because of this history, I have had such a good perspectives about Americans, and I always wanted to visit the country who helped us.
Wow.
Yes, that was the start.
Yeah.
That was the start. And later the pop cultures, like Britney Spears.
Tell me.
She was my favorite idol that
Really?
time. Yeah.
In South Korea?
Of course.
She was worldwide.
Yeah, I know.
An icon.
I love her song, like "Oops, I Did It Again."
Yeah.
When I was 12 years old. Yeah.
Tell me. Oh my gosh. I love it. We had the same experience then.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh.
I was a Britney girl.
You too.
For sure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was not that popular, but I really loved American pop culture. That's why Britney Spears came to my heart.
Oh.
Yeah, and then Mom, and when I was 10 years old, Mom, I want to learn English.
Wow.
I was the one who, because nowadays in Korea, a lot of parents really want their children to learn English, but at the time I was the one who came, my mom, please let me learn English.
Wow, at 12 years old.
No, 10 years old.
10.
Yes.
You were ready.
That's how I started. And then the more I learned about the language English and the American culture or history, I want to go abroad. So
Yeah.
I was waiting for me to turn to 18 years old.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I went to university in Korea, but
Yeah.
I was trying to find a way to just go abroad.
Yes.
But that wasn't America. The first country I went was Canada. You guys
true.
are neighbor.
Yes.
But interestingly, I haven't really visited US yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
But I visited Canada for just learning English for 6 months, and then I went to Australia for exchange student program, and then I went to Germany. I went to Paris because at the time my ex-boyfriend, who is now my husband, was in
Your
Paris.
former boyfriend. Ex sounds like you guys broke
broke
up.
Okay, my former, yes, thank you.
Yes.
My former boyfriend,
Now husband.
was in Paris at that time.
Yeah.
So before I started my master program, I went to Paris,
Yeah.
and then I went to Germany, and then I also was working in Paris. And then during the COVID, I came to Spain.
That's
But
crazy.
in all these over 13 years, I haven't still step on the
US soil.
US.
Not yet.
Not yet.
And maybe it's not the best time now. But
I don't know if I have chance to go. I also know that it's super expensive these days in States due to the inflation. So we will see.
What do you think is the perception, particularly in Busan, is because you're from the second largest city
Yeah.
in South Korea, where you have the beach and the mountains. And I remember you mentioning once saying that I think Trump was going to go visit.
Yeah.
Right.
And then APEC.
Oh yeah. APEC conference.
Yes.
And I think I remember you saying something like people were excited in Busan then.
Because it's about political.
No, we don't have to go deep into it, but just in general.
Okay, so...
And these are not your views, just kind of what you
it's
saw.
the fact, because that's what's exactly happening in South Korea, that technically, like, we don't have a war that we know as war, like bullets or rockets. We don't have a war yet in South Korea, but we have a war of ideology between like communism or socialism and this freedom and capitalism, you know, that what we have been. But now we have the period of the history that we could change towards more communism and socialism. I think it's very political, but anyway, so there are many people who are welcoming Trump because, as I said, our current government is really pro-China, pro-Russia, pro-North Korea. And then the Korean many South Korean people don't really understand why we should go that direction. Yeah, we're always allies with America, and then when Trump is coming, we were kind of hoping that he says something to the current president about their directions, which is really not the way that we have been before. So that's why those people were really happy that, Trump is going to something, because obviously he is the president of the United States and the president of a country who's allies to South Korea. Yes.
From a historically,
exactly. I know that there are many partnerships between countries, but we truly believe that South Korea is the ally and is the friend to America. They cannot give up. So we are kind of like hoping. We still hope.
We stay friends.
Yes. And I think there's no way that we talk about politics in the end now. Because Trump is talking about first election. Yeah. And that's totally happened also in the same period, 2020 in South Korea. And I think that he mentioned in Davos forum that he was talking about first election and mentioning also AWEB. AWEB is the election organizations based in South Korea. Headquarters is in South Korea and is linked. So, and we are also hoping that Trump will also involve in this first election happening in South Korea since 2020. That's also another hope that our expectations.
Yeah, as a society.
Yes. Yeah. And it's very important. Like first election means even if we want this person, due to the first election, this person that we want cannot be elected. I think that's not the democracy, not the free democracy. Yeah. It's just dictatorship. Yeah. So it's very important for society, as you said, but also it's really important just country itself.
Yeah. It's very interesting to me. I remember, without getting too deep into it, and I want to make sure you're comfortable. That's so much. And I know you're speaking about your society's beliefs, not exactly your personal beliefs. I found it so interesting when we had that conversation because, of course, like as an American and seeing what's going on in my country right now, we all have great anger towards him as a leader and like don't look highly of him. And you were telling me at the time that people were like putting their hope into him and like, please like continue to be our ally and protect us. So I think it's just always very interesting to hear about perceptions of my country
and abroad.
Yeah, of like from people of different nationalities and how they view that. And I think a lot of the people in Europe agree with my sentiment or like super frustrated and angry. Whereas I hear you speaking about your society and how they feel, and you're like, oh, like they really like. Yeah, and probably for selfish reasons, of course. Like they probably don't agree with what he does in the US, but they're like, please still help us as allies. Or agree
both. Because I think South Korea is geopolitically, we're really surrounded by China, Russia, North Korea,
Yeah.
and across the Pacific Ocean is America.
Yeah.
So actually, we have much more, can I say, the informations about what's going on outside of the country.
Yes.
So that's why, like, when I talk about this with my husband as well, who is European and who is French, he was surprised. He's always surprised my perspectives over this power game between these China, Russia, North Korea versus US.
Yeah.
You know, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't know that part." I said, "I know because my country is there.
It's
my
right
country
there,
just
physically.
surrounded by there."
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
So, and I mean, we have no choice but to always hear about the relations and which country we should stand for. And obviously South Korea is US that we should always stand for. And I'm sure that if I say this, if some of the Koreans say, "Oh,"
they'll probably disagree.
Yeah,
We're entitled, and there'll probably be people who agree with you, but you are entitled to genuinely believe what you want to.
I want, as I said, the freedom is such a important element when we live. You wanna buy your house, and you wanna, I don't know, just speak loud, even if you might be wrong, or even if you might have different perspectives. But we have a freedom to say.
Yeah.
But that's such an important asset for us.
Absolutely.
And that's because of that, I believe that we should stand for this US rather than China or Russia, even North Korea.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing your thoughts, Dasom. I know it's not always easy to be open and honest, right?
And because personally, like, since I was a child, and I always have been told from my parents, especially my dad, that don't talk about politics outside, is because there's no such a right answer or wrong answer, and there's no solution to, I don't know, not right the solution to fix right now.
And there's never a perfect solution that makes everyone happy.
Totally. So I've been always be careful.
Yeah, understandably so.
So it's really first time to talk about my perspectives over my country, or even the relationship between US and South Korea.
Yeah.
But thank you for asking me though.
You're welcome. I want to go to a more lighter point and speak on the American perspective on South Korea. Because I think I was mentioning to you yesterday, saying that, like, I mean, I don't really know the political sentiment of how America feels. I have a friend, Nathan, who is in the army stationed north of Seoul. And once, I was there. We got to speak on that. It was very interesting to hear his perspective as well. Though I know something more light about our general perception as Americans on South Korea and what mine was growing up. And it was very positive. We were always like aware that, like, South Korea is our ally. We're friends, and we looked very positively.
You too?
Yeah, we looked very positively, like, kind of as a generalization, growing up in Texas towards your country. And I think I remember speaking yesterday and telling you, like, LG, Samsung, Hyundai, Kia, all of these brands in Texas where I grew up, like, have such high respect. Like, that we're like, ooh, Korean products. Like, yeah. And like, it's like known to be like dependable and like good high, like high tech and an affordable price. Like, it's not super chicy, maybe like Japan, but like very dependable and good quality.
Practical.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There are so many people in Texas that are purchasing Korean products.
Thank you guys.
They are. And like with pride and like with excitement. I think I told you, like, my grandpa had purchased like a Hyundai Ioniq. And out of all the car brands that they could have chose, like, they have a really good trust and expectation for Korean products and Korean cars, whether it's like a washing machine at home or a fridge. Like, there's a very positive kind of sentiment that I've experienced. And then of course K-pop. We have to mention the pop culture of Korea coming to the United States, like, has like taken the United States by storm, right? It has blown up in the last years even. It's always been kind of big, but really now it's like going so mainstream with like, I think Blackpink like headlined Coachella in California.
And Jenny.
And like, Jenny, BTS, like having like their like world tours and everything. Americans are fans for sure.
Like thank you for saying this because 13 years ago when I was studying Canada, there are Brazilian friends, and when I say like Hyundai and Kia, because at the time I was so proud, and
Yeah.
in Brazil there are huge car factories from Hyundai and Kia,
Yeah.
and they told me, oh, it's from Japan.
Oh
I was
no!
like,
And for as
it's
a
Japanese,
Korean,
yeah, Japanese company, and I was like, oh,
no.
that's Korean. I said, you sure? Oh, 1000% sure that they are Korean
certain.
companies.
They're from my town.
Yes, but now you guys, all of you guys know that Hyundai, Samsung, Kia, LG are Koreans, and I'm so proud.
Yeah.
Because as I said, like I mentioned, Korean War at that time, even before Korean War at that time, we were the third poorest country on the earth in the world.
The third poorest.
Yes, and then since our South Korea was built 1948, which is 78 years ago, about 78 years ago, wow, just now less than 100, our Korea's is like economic growth is super strong.
Yeah.
And all of you guys know. So as a Korean, I'm so proud.
Yeah.
And then thank you for mentioning that.
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys have a great reputation, like when it comes to products and pop culture, of course, as well.
Yeah. I know. The culture has a power.
Absolutely. But probably the best parts of your culture. We don't know about the bad parts or anything, like how intense it could be, like being your friend and hearing you like speak sometimes saying like, oh, they'd post our grades on the wall publicly, and like it's very intense. And I think you mentioned once like that South Korea has one of the highest suicide rates for teenagers, I believe. Something along the lines, right?
Yes.
So like there's also like really difficulties, of course, that comes with culture as well. But I guess Americans aren't as aware of that.
Yes. It's true that according to OECD statistics, the suicide rates by teenagers are really high. And that's also, there are many documentaries about Korean education systems. I understand because I also have read the news and the pressures over our children at that time. But me personally, as my personal experience, I didn't go through that. So not all the kids living and studying in Korea has depressions, to be honest.
Yes.
So one day when my husband told me I will never ever let Lily study in South Korea because he's scared after he saw documentaries, maybe also when he saw the statistic, the suicide rates and things like that.
And Lily's her daughter.
Yeah, Lily's my daughter. And I understand his concerns and everything, but I also share my perspective, my experience that not all of the kids are pressure. And it really depends on the parents, the parents, how they approach this.
Yeah.
And my parents never pushed me to study. They never forced me. And actually, I don't know if you guys have heard Hagwon. Hagwon is private institution after school. And normally like many kids go to Hagwon after school and they stay like until 11 p.m. or even 12 a.m.
Oh my gosh.
And if I say it's normal phenomenon in Korea, you might say, what? But it is normal because we have a high competition in South Korea to enter the university. Nowadays less because we have less kids.
Yeah.
But at the time, my period is the top. It was this highest rate of kids trying to enter the university at that time. So the South Korea is just such a small land. In this small land, there are limited universities where so many kids. So of course, high competition. This competition is ranked by grades.
Yeah.
So it's quite like a very linked society, like social issues.
Yeah.
And
it's all connected.
Yes. And this suicide rate, of course, like when we hear the stories, what happened to them is that they're pressured by parents that you have to get this, da 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 da. And also the education system is, we are not as America or European schools. We are really like by the rank of the numbers. Like you get this point and by point to your length. So it's not like the absolute evaluation. Like I know that in France, even in Spain, you have very how can I say, because in Korea, as I said, we call relative evaluations by the grades, the point that you got. But here in Europe, they're more like
it's personal.
yes.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say.
True. I think we have sometimes similar things in the US at university when it's relative, like it's like kind of on a scale. Like if nobody got 100, if the highest person in the class got an 80, then they consider an 80 100.
Totally, that one. So we have that system.
Okay.
So like even if you study so hard, if other kids
do better,
and then you are like lower.
Yeah.
So it's all relative, and maybe the suicide rate is also high by that. But not only that, also bullying, social issues also. Yeah. So
yeah, there's good and bad, I think, to every country's systems.
Yeah.
And
so if you guys ask me why you guys so obsessed with studying in Korea, there's also like, as I said, we used to be third poorest country, and during one of our presidents in South Korea, who actually really helped our economy boost at the time, in 1970s, he said that we don't have natural resources. In North Korea, they have natural resources. We don't have. But if we want to live better, we need resources, which is human resources.
Wow.
That is the way he said.
Use your brain.
No, we need to raise our
workforce of like the people. We need
like a good education.
Yes.
We need to have some, and he was the one actually who all of the citizens can study Indian, regardless women, men, whatever. We need to learn.
Yeah.
So that is our society start, like especially in terms of education, that we really study hard, and those people who get the really good grades and they can actually go up, like kind of American dreams.
Yeah.
But starting the point is always education. So even if you're poor, you can go up.
And also similar to the American dream. Yeah.
Exactly. Also like a national wise, we need a really good, smart resources, like helping science, technology. That is how we start. But at that time we were really poor.
Yeah.
But now we live better than that.
Yeah.
So I believe, my personal opinion is that we can kind of like change the directions, not only studying.
Yeah.
Because we live better than that. So we can kind of.
You don't have to be as intense.
Exactly.
Right?
At that time,
society has developed.
Yeah, exactly. That's why this is my personal opinion, that we can be different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a very progressive one.
Oh, yeah.
And something that respects people's ability as a human. Like, exactly. Sometimes some societies are so intense.
Yes.
But exactly, you said as a nation, you guys have developed now and you're not the third poorest nation anymore in 2026. And a lot has happened since.
Yes.
Yeah. I wanted to kind of finish up this segment by asking you about your perspective on, or an experience with meeting or speaking with Americans, and how maybe that differs from the separation between the US government and the American people.
For me, Americans are really creative.
Wow.
As I said, like I already have a good impressions even before I met Americans like you. For at least for my family, Americans are great people. That's just that's already the first impression I got before I met you guys, and when I talk with Americans, and they're different. I mean, for me, like, oh wow, I think they're really creative. Yes, I mean, and even when I talk with you, like, of course, you're as an individual, and besides that, the fact that you're Americans, you're already very great people, like great person, nice and creative. But in general, for me, Americans are really open. They're really open.
Sometimes too open.
Yeah.
We love like sharing all the details.
But that like I have met, I mean, my French, my husband is French and Spanish, and like his families. And when I came to Europe, the thing that shocked me was that Europeans say Americans are dumb, and I was like, was shocking me. I said, No, they're not dumb.
Girl, I love that you said that. Thank you. I literally showed up to our master's program and I got that vibe that everyone's like, oh, Americans, like, oh, dumb Americans, dumb Americans. The Europeans kind of have like an elitist view. Like, we speak 4 languages. We're better than you guys, which like, I mean, maybe, but like, they don't have to be arrogant about it, right?
Yeah, I agree. Like that was shocking me. Like, so I was like,
these are stereotypes, of course, guys.
I think that not all Europeans.
Yeah, we know, but like in general, we're generalizing, and many Europeans, that's the vibe.
Even
right?
the TikTok videos.
Yeah, they're like dumb Americans, dumb Americans. They love that narrative.
Yeah, like for example, like if those people know which the capital of I don't know the country is Americans, and I said, I'm sure they know. I'm sure they
like
do.
the videos that are like making fun of Americans because we don't know geography.
Yeah.
But like obviously that's showing like the worst like scenarios where maybe people don't really know. And I know a lot of Americans aren't good with geography, but like you said, maybe we're good at other things.
Yes.
We're creative. And I love that you use that word.
I mean, you guys' education in I mean, this is also our Koreans' perspective. That and a lot of children with rich parents, they go to university in America because education is better than South Korea, and you guys really like help children to be creativity since they're a child. So that's our how we conceive about American education. Maybe different now
at the university level. That, like it's a high
exactly,
because I think Europeans always like knock down our public school system. They think we're all dumb and everything. But interesting that you say
I might be wrong now.
No, it's the perspective that you're sharing that you guys think that our universities are at a very high level.
Why you guys have such a companies that like everybody knows these days. And that's how I think about Americans.
Very cool.
Thank you. You guys are not dumb by my experience.
Thanks, Dasom. Thank you. I love the validation.
Yeah, sure.
You can keep it coming. Yeah. Okay. I want to now go into part 2 of this episode, which is going to be all about your personal experience about living life abroad.
Yeah.
Because, okay, y'all, there's a lot of countries involved in this. Me being American, living in Germany, you being Korean, living in Spain right now. Yeah. That's just 4 countries to start with. And we're filming this episode in Italy right now. And you've lived in 5 different countries.
Including Korea.
So you lived in Korea, Canada, Australia, Germany, France, and Spain.
Oh, it's a 6. Okay.
6 different countries, right? I want to kind of bring it back to you being young and ask you being young. Dasom, you're still young. You're still young. You being younger. Younger. We are young, y'all. And ask you, when did you know that you wanted to first leave your country of South Korea?
When I was 10.
10 years old.
As I said, when I was
with 10 the language, it came with learning English.
Yes. English was the start. Like I want to see the country, like Canada, but mainly more America, and that was the start. I just want to know, and also like I wanted to leave the nest of my parents. Yes,
from a young age. Yeah. You're curious.
Very.
And then at what age did you first leave South Korea for Canada?
20 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
How was that experience?
Oh, like it was very interesting because everybody in Korea, for example, my friends, my classmates in university told me you look different after I came back from Canada to Korea.
Yeah.
And how different, like they told me before you left Korea, you look kind of reserved, like, but after I came back, you're very open, like, like, I don't know, by gesture wise, also like, hey, more like skin texture, and and
kind of touching the shoulder, or
and
open,
the gestures like this,
warm and friendly.
Yeah, exactly. Like when I was talking, I was talking like, like the kind of also expressive in gestures,
using the hands.
Yeah, and also my face, that's people told me I look different, and I liked it. I mean, when I was in Canada, the culture, which is totally different from Korea, shape or help me cultivate what I kept while I was in Korea.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it lived on.
I think so. I think so.
That's really beautiful.
That was my first experience of living in country abroad.
Yeah, very special. How long have you been abroad now? 15 years?
No, 13 years.
13 years
Yeah.
that you have not lived in your home country. How do you think your view of Korea now has developed from the outside?
It's really hard to say.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure. It's always the pros and cons, like our life.
Yeah.
But my perspectives of Koreans, like,
Or of your country.
In general.
Yeah. Like perceptions of how you see your country now after not living there for 13 years.
Okay, so from my experience, they're more open. For example, when I said that I have a French boyfriend at the time, still it was like a Korean woman dating foreign guy. It wasn't considered that good. Yes, but now, like, with time, they're more open, and it's normal.
Yeah.
Because our generation had more opportunities to go abroad and have more experiences, and it's obviously like a love in the air,
Yeah.
Like, love can be everywhere. So I think Korean people more and more open.
Yeah.
And then also, like, Korean people have more opportunities to go abroad, and they can also learn they can actually improve their perspectives about our country. Because I used to hear, like, Korea, I don't want to live in this country, I don't want to live in this country. But these days many people say, you know what, after traveling abroad, they say, I think Korea is the best country.
I love it. After seeing others.
Yes, that's what I have heard by my experience. I don't know all of Koreans agree with me, but at least my family, my friends,
they come back grateful.
Yes, and I actually agree with them. I mean, there's always pros cons in each countries, but it's because I'm Koreans.
Yeah.
If I had, you asked me yesterday if something happened.
World War III.
Yeah, World War III, and really three, like.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's
really
crazy here in Europe.
Yeah.
I said, where would you go, Dasom, if World War III struck and you had to leave tomorrow?
And I said Korea yesterday, you remember? And you asked me why, and I say, well, first, I'm Korean, but also I believe that South Korea, for the moment, is a safe country, and the public health insurance and very convenient, and higher access to hospitals compared to Europe. And in general, I think I'm really comfortable to live there. Plus, I'm Korean, so.
Yeah. But, I think that view has changed, because when I met you 8 years ago and I asked you about Korea, you were like, oh, I haven't lived there in a few years.
That?
Yeah. You were like, I haven't lived there. Like, I don't need to go back so often.
Oh.
Yes. And then I think it's like you've developed like a deeper connection to your culture.
Yes.
Maybe the longer you've been gone.
I think so.
Now you say, like, when you go visit, it's like so special.
Very special, and I'm really grateful for being Korean, and I'm always proud. Actually, I'm more proud now, thanks to the culture as well. But I forgot to say that I also go back to Korea for Korean food.
No, hell yeah.
Yeah, yes. For sure.
I love it.
Yeah, it's not just only comfortable, it's just also food.
Yeah, absolutely. It's part of your culture. Food is culture.
Yeah. And what about you? Which country you want to go back?
Oh my gosh. I told you yesterday, like, I think I'd go back to Texas.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm living with my partner, Tim. Of course, you know Tim. And that we've had this conversation, where would we go if World War III struck? And, like, say if Munich was bombed by Russia, like, what's next? If we have to leave tomorrow, where's the nearest airport that isn't Munich's? And kind of doomsday planning. And I think I said I'd go home to Texas, even though we're probably involved in it somehow, and the aggressors, or I don't know. And Tim said, I think that he'd go to South Africa. And I said, I'd be happy for you. And he said the same. We'd reunite somehow. But I think, like, even though the US is looked upon as very problematic, and it is very problematic, there are also very good things as well. I mean, two things can be true
Yeah.
at the same time. The US can be a very scary place right now. But it's also where my family is, and if I had nowhere else
Your
to
roots.
go, it is my roots, and I feel safe with my family.
Yeah.
And I think that's something super beautiful. And whether that's Texas or another state, if my brothers ever move, like, I think home is where my family is as well. We have many homes, you and I.
I know.
Right? That's like the life of living abroad.
Yeah.
It's not just home isn't only one place, right?
That's why, like, as a person who's living abroad and experiencing in different countries, I want the same for my daughter. Yeah, I want her to explore the world.
Absolutely.
Maybe more than I did.
Wow, even more. You want her to live in 7 countries.
If she can.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. I want to go kind of into a fun kind of quick fire round and ask you, what are the best and worst things about the countries that you've lived in? So starting with Canada.
Oh my God. That's
just like quick little first impressions, the best and the worst parts of living.
Oh my God, the best and the worst part. I never thought about the worst part. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's really hard, especially for Canada, because Canada is my first country.
So it was all good for you?
All good for me.
Okay, that's fair.
But
what was the best part?
The best part, the kindness of people.
Aww.
You know, like, what surprised me the most when I was in Canada, that when we get off the bus, you say thank you to the driver.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, how friendly they are.
Aww.
So since then, I also do the same.
Yes.
Even in Europe. Thank you.
Yeah. I love it.
They taught me very kindness.
I love that. That's also a Canadian stereotype, that they're very friendly.
True.
But I guess it's not just a stereotype from your experience.
No.
You experienced it.
I experienced that. And the worst part, they're too chill.
That's fair.
They're too chill.
I'll accept that.
Yeah.
And then Australia,
the best part, they're also very friendly. They're very kind, and they're very like the vibes is like very exotic for me.
Yeah.
The worst part, they're too chill. I love it. Also a lot of bugs and the snakes. And,
Okay, Germany.
It's really hard to say good part, but
yeah, I love it. Dasom is a hater of Munich too.
Oh, I can say that.
I love that though, because I'm like Munich's biggest fan, and I love speaking with my good friend about it.
The good part is the people are really like strict.
Yep.
I mean, it's my personality. I like,
and that's what you like. She's very type A.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, that's why I like their way to treat very professionally, and doesn't mean that other people are not professional, you know. No. But if they're more like relatively, they're really like.
Oh, especially when you compare to Spanish people. The Germans are like they say something.
I can say that. Can I say that? Yes, yes, relatively, yes.
They're very like, the Germans are strict, so that's what you like.
Yeah,
and then what did you not like? Worst part?
Oh, the strict. Both can be good, can be bad.
How strict they are as well.
Yeah, sometimes it's too much. Like they're not flexible.
That's so true.
Yeah,
that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, France.
Oh, the good part?
Yeah, best part about living in, Paris.
You mean Paris?
Yeah.
Not Aix-en-Provence?
Not true. Okay, France is
in general. Because my husband said Paris is not France.
It's true. It's very true. Jeff, if you're watching this,
yes,
we understand. Fair.
So I can say in general, the best part is the rich culture. It's my personal, okay? The rich culture in terms of food. Yeah,
French food.
I was really surprised when I met my husband's family that they're really serious about food, and they really like teach children how to eat and socialize on the table. You know, that is my meaning is that they're really serious about food culture, rich culture in terms of food, and you know, and I think they're right. Yeah, because we socialize, we talk on the table, table manner, and that's I really like the most about French people, French culture.
Yeah.
The worst part, they're too chill.
I love it. All of your worst parts about these countries, like they're too chill, they're too chill, they're too chill.
Yeah, but they complain a lot. But I think, or I also believe that because they complain a lot, that is the way that also they can improve.
Oh yeah,
like better.
I think I told you that I've seen some TikToks lately about from Americans saying like we need to be like the French. We need to be on the streets like the French, like have their revolutions and they like strike and they fight for what they want because they're so proud for whatever cause that they're fighting for.
Korean people say the same.
And you know, like that's kind of commendable for the French.
Yeah.
It is. They're hardcore.
But that can be also best part, worst part because of that. The suddenly like economy and society stopped. Like when they have a strike for a month.
Yep.
It's like we don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you're living in Paris and like the metros aren't working.
And the train.
Yeah.
And sometimes also gas fuel.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah, they're striking at the gas stations. That's crazy to me to think.
Yes.
Yeah, but understandable. And now the best and worst parts of living in Spain.
Best part is I have been learning how to relax.
Ooh.
Thanks to that.
The best part is them being chill.
Yeah. I mean, I complain a lot.
Yeah.
Especially like when I was trying to get the permit to, the permanent and the residence permit.
Yeah.
And even get married. I was like, okay, it takes a minimum 5 months to have a permit to marry. But maybe that's because we are foreigners, probably. Maybe it's same other countries. But in general, administrations in Spain, it's really slow, not efficient for me as a Korean. Yeah. So that's my perspectives. Okay, maybe not for Spanish people living in Spain, but at least for me, it is inefficient.
Your lived experience is valid.
Yeah,
for sure.
Thank you. But relaxing, they really they have been teaching me how to relax. Because waiting time, okay, it's gonna. But I just need to wait. I just need to wait. I don't need to be stressed.
I love it. All the other countries, you were saying the worst parts about them were they were too chill. Yeah. And now you're like, that's kind of the best part about Spain, that you've learned to be chill.
I have no choice.
True.
I live there.
You didn't have an option. You kind of
exactly.
It forced you to be chill.
Exactly.
That's fair.
I thought that always being chill is optional, but
yeah.
Not.
I love it. If there are any Koreans listening to this episode who are curious about life abroad, they've never left Korea possibly, what would you have to say to them? What advice would you have?
It's not the first time for me to answer these questions. Many of Korean friends who have never lived abroad have asked me this.
Yeah.
Is that once you live abroad, you will appreciate more your country. Yeah. And then you will, if you appreciate more, you will stop thinking negative about the country we were born, I mean, because the perspectives, as I said, perspectives really help and us shaped what we have experienced before.
Absolutely.
And what we are experiencing now.
Yeah.
So, but not only that, if you live abroad, you can have different perspectives, not just only right way. It can be that way, it can be that way, and then it helps us also improve our living.
Absolutely.
And the way we see the issues, the problems in our life.
So you would tell them, go for it.
Oh, absolutely. That's why I said I want the same for my child. I don't want Lily to just stay with us forever. I want her to really learn, go there, and then just enjoy your life.
Yeah, so she can spread her wings.
Yes, so I can say this to my daughter later.
Yeah.
When she asks me, Mom, what have you liked the most? Why do you really want me to live abroad? And I think I would say the same thing.
Yeah. I want to kind of wrap up and start asking you, you've lived in these 7 different countries now? 6. Ooh, and that leads me to my question. Is there going to be a 7th? Or have you told yourself that you'll be in Spain indefinitely?
We talk about that sometimes. I mean, Chef and I.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's really serious, but he told me El Salvador.
Oh, what? No, that's that. I don't
El
know.
Salvador, I think he's a half joke.
I think so. Nothing against them, but like knowing you guys, like that's not.
I already
happening.
said no.
Yeah, that's not happening.
I don't know the country well.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that they speak Spanish.
They do.
You're right. But I don't know. The seventh country. We also talk about Japan. Yeah. We also
Who
talk
knows?
about Japan, but who knows exactly? Right. Wow, it's really interesting question because definitely the countries that we are talking about is not in Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is also kind of scary, right? Like starting over again.
Yes, truly. But like El Salvador, Japan.
When Jeff sees us, he's gonna laugh.
But what about you?
Oof. I don't know, man. Oh, it's so hard. I sometimes long to wish, like I long to like live in the U.S. again, but not under the current establishment.
I see.
And maybe like I wish for a country that doesn't exist anymore. I wouldn't probably live in Texas. I don't know. I'd probably go to more like liberal states,
like
Colorado, maybe California, who knows. But now I'm just like speaking out loud crazy things. I've never really like thought too deep into it. But maybe somewhere in Asia. I don't know. For a year, maybe in Bangkok for a year. Who knows? Let's see. Singapore would be so cool. But there's a lot of just like cultural differences, I think, and like I don't know, people in Singapore can go to jail like for smoking weed, for example. Not that like I partake, but I just think the principle of that is crazy. Or like the death penalty. I don't know. Some of these things to me like freak me out. But I don't know. Who knows? Like I am not outruling the possibility. Like maybe like one day I will still have another little experience.
True, totally. But while we're like talking about this, it just got me idea that it's such a privilege for us to talk about which country you want to go next.
I know.
Because when I see my friends, my families in South Korea, for them it's such a luxury for them to think about which country to live next. You know,
crazy.
They cannot think. They cannot have the space to think about it.
You know, it takes time and money, but it's a bit more than that.
Yeah,
one can have the time and money, but you have to have the will, right? The drive to like, because being an immigrant anywhere is not easy, right?
True that. I've never thought I'm immigrant.
Yeah,
but I am, right?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yeah, an immigrant is not a bad word.
No.
It's not.
No.
A message to yourself 10 years from now, what would it be?
10 years later?
Yeah. Sending a message to Dasom 10 years from now.
Oh la la. Oh, I've never thought about that. Can I have some time?
Oh, of course.
Yes. 10 years later. I think I would still say that you have done amazing things. I think I'm still saying the same thing. Me 5 years ago, that when I came to Spain during the pandemic, and I took a flight the day when President Macron announced the pandemic, because I was 7 months pregnant, and my husband was in Spain, and I needed to take a flight. So 2 hours before the departure, I bought the ticket and I took it. And then 2 months later, I gave birth to baby, and it was still pandemic, the beginning of COVID and everything. And I've never been mom before, and I didn't know how to speak Spanish like as much as now, and the career-wise and everything. When I look back, I'm like, you did well. You know? So I think I would say the same thing in 10 years for me. Like, you have done amazing things, especially raising a human monster. Yes, and then trying to adapt myself to the culture and speaking their own languages, and also couple relationship to improve, and many things.
I love it.
Thank you so much for asking me. Nobody asked me this. I mean, even Jeff, my husband, doesn't ask me this.
Who knows? Maybe he will now.
Oh, yeah, sure.
But I love it, the validation, like that you have done well. Yeah. I love that you don't even know what you're going to do in the next 10 years, but you would tell yourself, you've done good, because that's the belief. in all the things that you're doing right now.
I'm trying to be kind with myself.
Absolutely. And I think we should give ourselves more credit.
Definitely.
Always.
Yeah.
Dasoma, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
All of you.
Yes. Thank you for listening into this episode.
Yes.
It was a very, very special one to my heart. We've known each other 8 years, y'all. I feel like we've grown up with each other.
Sure.
We really have over the years.
Yeah,
and
totally.
yeah, I very much appreciate you being able to share your honest thoughts with all of us today. It's a privilege.
Thank you so much again.
Yes. If you like this episode, then please feel free to give it a like, leave a comment down below, and subscribe. All of that good stuff. Let me know what you thought of it or what you want to see next. And until next week, thanks a lot. The Pod Abroad's video, audio, and music is produced and edited by Tim Tehune. Make sure to give us a follow and leave a comment if you like this episode.